Well, here we are, getting ready to start a new approach, if you will. We've been going from Revelation back to Genesis, and that worked out really quite well because everything was kind of in sequence through even a lot of the prophets. But then we got to a place where there was a tremendous overlapping of books, and history is kind of hard to understand when you look at it backwards. And so we're going to go back to Genesis and come forward to the prophets that we left off with. I think you're going to find it's going to be easier for us to study that way. And I just want to give you a fast overview today. We have 27 books of the New Testament, and they cover roughly 100 years of history. We have 39 books in the Old Testament, and those 39 books cover what probably could be as much as 10,000 years. Some say 7, some say 4. Nevertheless, it covers a significant period of time as compared to the New Testament. Well, the other problem is we know that we had no recorded history prior to Moses. So we have to believe that Moses had God dictate to him, likely on Mount Sinai, when he was up there for such a long time, what happened in the first 5 books of the Bible. God gave Moses the history from creation through the giving of the law. And so we have Moses writing 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These 5 books are referred to by Christians as the books of the law, the Pentateuch, and the Old Testament referred to by the Jews would be the Torah. Now, they also see it as the most holy books of their Bible, and they see it as the law as well. Most holy, and also the books that are the law. So Moses writing 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, called the Pentateuch, Pentateuch, or the law, or the Torah for the Jew. When we look at the book of Genesis, which is where we start today, we see the words that are very clearly written there. And I want us to look at just verses 1 and 2 today. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was moving over the surface of the waters. So what was this the beginning of? Well, I think it's very clear in verse 1. It says, "And God created the heavens and the earth." What did God create? The universe. As we know it today, even with our telescopes and all of our speculations, we see that God created the heavens and the earth. So we see very clearly this very beginning of what was dictated to Moses, likely on Mount Sinai, the history that God created the universe as we know it today, and that it didn't evolve. He didn't start out with a big bang. Otherwise, I think the Bible would have recorded that there was a big bang and God created the first matter by swirling gas masses and a bolt of lightning. Certainly we see lots of other places where God has given us great detail about how he did things. And here he said he created it. Now, if you really want to do some extra study on your own, you'll find in chapter 1 through chapter 2 believe verse 13, that God, 11 times it says, God said. And it was so. So, what is today's devotion all about? Well, it's about the beginning of the universe. And when God first created it, it was described as chaos. That is, it was formless, it was void, and there's one thing else that it says here. It says the Spirit of God moved across the waters. So it wasn't the creation of God. It wasn't the beginning of God. God's eternal. He was, He is, and He always will be. But it was the beginning of the universe. And even at the beginning of the universe, His Spirit was there. So what do I want you to get out of today's devotion? I want you to get out of today's devotion the sovereignty of God. This is His universe. He created it. It's His. And He is powerful. Remember, if you look at chapter 1 and the beginning of chapter 2, you'll see that He spoke it into existence. He said. And we're going to see that in great detail as we go through the following verses. But today I'd like you just to meditate on that. Maybe you've been dwelling on some of your problems. Maybe you've been dwelling on some situations that are unpleasant. Maybe you're dealing with health issues, financial issues. Maybe it's a bunch of little trivial things as I was bogged down with this week. But I want you just to think for a minute. God created the heavens and the earth. He created this universe, and He spoke it into existence. What an incredible God. One that you can't put in a box. One that you can't begin to compare with anything else, because there's none like Him. Not one. So meditate on that for a minute or two today. Think about just verses 1 and 2 of the book of Genesis. God created the heavens and the earth. He spoke it into existence. That's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.